episode of Conscious Straight Talk with Katie and Lindsey.
Hi, my name is Katie Hutchinson, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And I'm also a certified mediator. And we're really happy that you guys are here this Monday, Passover Monday?
Easter Monday,
Passover,
Passover, in the middle of
Ramadan.
Whatever we're celebrating. It's a very religious time right now.
It's religious, traditional, whatever you want it to be, or if you want it to be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So happy, whatever.
And I'm Lindsey Kearns. I'm the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com. And I'm also a certified conscious trauma-informed life coach. So today, as you guys know, well, it didn't happen today, but as you know, we've been discussing that Katie's father very suddenly passed away. And we've been trying to share with you the grieving process, kind of raw and up close. We've had a couple of episodes where, we were at your house and just did the best we could do to get through the situation. And we wanted to share that with you guys. Mm-hmm. But as time progresses and things happen, it is time to start finding the new normal. And we wanted to share some tips with you guys on things that we're doing or we know other people have done that are really helpful in moving forward and just kind of finding that new normal for yourself after a loss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's been hard. How have you been feeling? Are you doing okay?
It's up and down. Yesterday was really hard for me, which I think I told you guys all on Friday it was going to be hard for me.
It's the first holiday without your parents. Neither of us had the kids.
Yeah, and I'm always with my dad for every holiday. And so every holiday, I just know being a therapist and dealing with other people's grief, helping other people through their grief, that the holidays for at least a year, and I'm going to probably a number of years. A number of years are very hard and very triggering. Every birthday,
and it's likewise, my family is 4,000 miles away. Mm-hmm. And so since we relocated to California, all the family holidays we used to have are non-existent now.
Yeah. That's
so
hard
I can
too.
relate to that. You know, it's a hard thing to get through. And I think you kind of utilize your resources, what you have handy, and make the best of it like we did yesterday.
Well, it's helpful if you really make a plan. I knew it was going to be a really hard day for me yesterday. So I played pickleball in the morning and trust me, I didn't want to get out of bed. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And then
we all had a nice dinner together.
Filet roast, and that was wonderful. And that was planned ahead.
Right.
So
we knew, the same for me too. Was happening. Yeah, we had a nice day.
Yeah, so I knew I wasn't just going to line up.
But we want to share a few tips. The first one being, which we keep talking about, and that's just to connect with other people. When you're going through grief and you're going through this experience, connecting with other people, spending time with other people who are going through it or have gone through it, sharing your feelings, feeling like you're understood, I think is an important one. Finding a good counselor is always top of the list.
Every therapist should have a therapist or you're not doing your job. Sorry, people. And so I always go to therapy, but I'd taken a respite for a while, and I am back in there in that chair.
And something else that's really helpful are grief groups. Mm-hmm. I know you can check with your local hospice associations, the mortuaries.
I'm sure the hospitals probably
hospitals, counseling agencies.
Yeah.
Just Google it online. You can find great grief groups. I know they're set up around everywhere, and they do help.
No, you
don't need to feel embarrassed. I don't know why anyone would feel embarrassed in this situation, but it can be hard to talk about.
Embarrassed especially men. Society still puts so much pressure on men to not grieve, just show anger and happiness, and that's it. Yeah, well, there's a lot more than that.
And hopefully, us just sitting up here every day through this grief process and sharing that space with you is motivating you to go and find a grief group or reach out to us, or however you want to do it. If you have a great motivational friend you can be talking to through this process, because I know if you just sit at home, if you just isolate, if you just let your brain go down that rabbit hole, it's
like a hamster in a wheel. Your brain, well, at least that's what my brain does. It just goes around and around and around. And I do want to isolate. I really do. I really just want to be alone, but I force myself when I have the energy
to do it.
To come here and be
Yeah.
with you guys. That's
Yeah.
like a big deal.
Yep, and that's good. That's sort of a little bit of what's getting you through,
Mhm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
The second tip is to start journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Journaling, writing your feelings, your memories,
Mm-hmm.
even some goals that you might
Mhm.
want to start having. It's just a great outlet for somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
While she was saying this, I was thinking I've always wanted to write a book about my dad.
So this is a great time to start writing your memoirs as a journal through this process.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
then, look at it at the end. You can even put in little drawings.
I can't.
You know?
You'll have to do the drawing. I don't even.
Or doodles.
I can only do a stick figure.
But I mean, whatever's in your heart, And the next thing, and I love this one, is to create a collage journal, right? Where you can put in all pictures of, your missing loved one, or the things that you want to do, or the things you did do.
Early 2000s, baby.
Yeah.
That's what everybody did in the early 2000s.
Or create a vision board, and this, create a vision board in lieu of what that person would want for you.
Yeah.
Going forward,
That's a
what
good
their
idea.
goals would be for you going forward. And it kind of connects that spirit, because spirit will speak to you through your heart, right? Find you the right pictures and kind of hear that message of like, no, I'm going to be okay. Life will go on.
My
And this
dad,
kind of
though,
gives guidance.
my dad would he'd send me something saying,
Be all boats.
no, it'd be all boats, but it would be like, no, I want you up here with me right now.
Boats
right
and
now.
angels.
Yes.
Go drive the
hi.
boat out to the
Exactly.
ocean and don't come back. I'll be
That's
there to
what
pick
I
you up
think.
on the other side.
Sorry, he was thinking all the time. And stuff.
So, and another thing is track your dreams.
Yes.
And this, you had an interesting thing. We were talking about you're always looking for them. To
So
kind of send a
yeah,
sign.
for me, I mean, everybody's different. I don't know. I mean, I do know with people that I've spoken with, I see this a lot where they're looking for signs of their special person, animal, whatever it is that you've lost. And so, I went to UC Berkeley, which we've talked about before. And my dad loves the UC schools, so University of California schools. He's obsessed with, and because we're a big UC family, a lot of us went to the UC schools. And so, being down in Southern California, I never see UC Berkeley plates. People put their plate. Yeah, what's the plate?
Around the license plates.
The license plate thingamajigger. And when you're in San Francisco, everywhere you go, it says Cal, UC Berkeley, go Bears, blah, blah, blah. Never see it around here. I have seen at least 4 plates in Newport Beach and here, Westlake Village, in the last just like 5 days. And I know, I want to believe that is my dad saying to me, hi, I love you, so, so that.
I definitely feel that way. I think, especially when you start, for me, with my grandparents, was hummingbirds.
Well, and
anytime I see a hummingbird, I'm like, hi, grandma.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
you.
And that's one of and butterflies. A lot of
Yeah.
people believe that. It just depends.
Yeah. Now, I also want to just say in here, when you're tracking your dreams, when we're talking about that, it can be a great way for them to come and give you messages, but as the day goes, you wake up, you remember it for that moment, and then it kind of gets lost. So tracking it is great. Likewise, if you're experiencing nightmares, right, this is a great opportunity for you to write that nightmare out, but change the ending to a happier ending. And much like we were talking about with our neural pathways, your brain will start to record that happier ending, and it will start to let go of the pain, right? And you will have happier dreams.
Well, it's also really important to allow yourself to maybe
to go through
to reframe your nightmares, because this is your body, this is your brain trying to process what has happened. Yes, if you want to look at it as a nightmare, you can, but I look at it as I'm having to go through this. My body and brain is processing everything, and this is the way that I'm doing it. Yeah. And I keep waiting for my dad to come to me in my dreams. Now, I haven't experienced that, but I'm a little bit out of it, to say the least, in due time. But I was telling Lindsey that I have a dear friend that passed away within the last year. It's been a challenging year. And I didn't get to say goodbye to this person. I didn't have closure. And that has really, really been tough on me. And this person has come to me about 4 times, did I say? About 4 times. Has come to me in my dreams, and she's tried to help me deal with it. And it really has helped me. Every time I wake up and I just cry, but I feel like connected. I'm starting to understand. Yeah.
Well, and this kind of leads into our next tip. When you're in a situation like that, you can write a letter to that loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And I know at some point you're gonna have to do that with your dad too, because it's just a beautiful process of, it's almost like a necessary process of just getting out what you need to say.
No, I think it's so important. One thing what I do with my clients, actually, I do this all the time. I love letters. And what I do is I say, write a letter now whenever you can, and then close the envelope and write the date.
Yeah.
And say, to dad or whoever it's to ex-boyfriend, to whatever it is. And then write a letter in 6 months, and then date it and close it and put it all in the same place. And then do it like a year later. And then when you start to heal, you can open those up and you can look and go, wow, look at how far I've come. I've come so far.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then the next tip, I think I'm going to let you take, because that's...
Oh, the empty chair technique.
Yeah.
This is called the empty chair technique. It's a Gestalt technique. Not that anybody knows that probably or cares. But basically, you take a chair, and I actually do this with my clients. I actually like this. Some of these things I'm not so fond of, but this is one I like. You use a chair or whatever you want to use, but I think a chair is helpful. And you have the client or the person talk to the chair. So it could be that you're going to have a meeting with your boss and you're afraid. So you're going to try this out. You're rehearsing basically. Or I have all these feelings, let's just say, towards my dad that I didn't let him know, although I let him know everything for the most part. So, but so it would be me talking to him in the chair, pretending that he's there in the chair, even though he's not in the chair, and saying, Daddy, I miss you. I'm mad at you for this. I can't do this with that. Why would you do this? All this. Yeah. I love you. Thank you for this, that, whatever it is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You put the person in a chair, even though the person's not there, but the chair represents the person. Does that make sense?
It does, and I think it's very healing to get out, especially in a situation where you didn't get to say goodbye.
Yes.
Very. Or very. If you did get to say goodbye, but you were in the midst of a fight.
All the unhealed trauma, if you have all these feelings towards somebody, and that's why I say, try to clean up this stuff while people are alive, you guys. Try not to leave anger and ego and jealousy and all this stuff, because it just destroys your body and it destroys the other person that you love, and it's not even worth it. It's really just about ego. And
lastly, you guys, when you're ready to, find a new hobby. Find something that speaks to you, that you love, that you've never gotten to explore before, whether it be arts and crafts or sewing or dancing or music or sports.
Bridge, playing bridge, cards.
We just discovered both of our mothers are like pro bridge players, and we never knew it.
My mother is a tournament player.
So is mine.
So we need to get them together. But at
that
the
would
same
be a
time,
disaster. We would never get anything in between.
Oh, that's true.
They'd never talk to us again.
Exactly. Well, they like each other. But yeah.
So anyway, finding a new hobby can be very helpful when you're ready.
When you're ready,
don't
allow
let it go
yourself
too long
to grieve. Yes, if you realize, I've been in bed for a year, it's time to have some people help you if they can, and or to help yourself. But do allow yourself to give yourself that time.
Find something new. Find something that you love.
Within reason.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, we're going to leave this go now, and we will see you on Wednesday, where we're going to have a discussion on, what was that stuff called?
I've learned about a new drug, and I believe it's called lean, as in lean cuisine, but I'm not sure. It's called all kinds of different things, and I'm going to research.
So we're going to be talking all about that on Wednesday, so we hope you join us.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.